Jonah, and today I'll be showing you several of the techniques used in this Caron Crochet Bobble Fringe Shawl. Here is the front of it. You can see, it has that beautiful eyelash texture and double crochet in the back loop. And if I turn it around, here it is. You can see it has a beautiful drape due to the yarn used, and it has a wonderful self-striping effect. And as an added touch, you have that bobble fringe going across both ends, and I think that adds a really fun touch to your shawl. And this is a shawl that is great for all times of the year. Summer for those cold, chilly nights, air-conditioned stores. Winter because it's a really nice furry yarn. And fall, autumn, and spring too, because it's that perfect weight and perfect amount of wearability. And the reason that it looks so luxurious and the self-striping is so beautiful is because it uses one of my favorite yarns, and it is Caron Latte Cakes. I could go on and on about this yarn. If I turn it down so you can see the top, you can see all those beautiful colors. This is the colorway Blueberry. There's some really saturated, deep royal cerulean blues, some aqua blues, some almost pastel country blues. Huge variety of colors in just one cake. And this shawl, it only takes one ball because Caron Latte Cakes has a whopping yardage of 530 yards in this one cake. So you just need one. And another thing about this shawl is it's relatively simple. And today I'll be demonstrating 3 techniques. The first technique, which is used for the main body of your shawl, is double crochet in the back loop. And then to clean up your edges on the top, you also need to know the technique of treble crochet. And then lastly, I'll be showing you how to work the bobble stitch, which is vital for making this shawl and having that perfect addition. And also with your supplies, you'll need 1 Caron Latte cake, a 6.5mm crochet hook, and a pair of scissors, and of course, a tapestry needle. And so now I'm going to lay the shawl down on the table and give you a little bit of an overview about how it's going to be worked and where you're going to place the stitches to get the idea of how it's going to turn out into this really beautiful self-striping shawl. So I have my shawl laid down on the table so I can explain to you how it is worked and how your stitches will play in to get the finished product. So as you can see, it's a triangular format starting from the point at one end and another point at the other end, coming down in a V. And this shawl is so luxurious and comfy. You really want to wear it because it's so soft from that texture from the Caron Latte cake. And another one of my favorite things about Caron Latte cakes is it doesn't sacrifice the amount of fur for the wearability and stitch definition, so your yarn can shine with that really fun texture, but your stitches can also shine, so it's a win-win when it comes to crocheting or knitting. And now I'm going to show you how you actually work the shawl. So when you begin the shawl, you start from one little corner right here, and you start with several double crochet stitches. And then when you're working the bobbles down this side of a shawl, you work it on every other row. So you start with a bobble, which I'll demonstrate later, and then you'll slip stitch and work your double crochets and your double and treble in the last stitch to keep this straight, clean, and crisp. And then you'll work your row that will be going backwards, which will just be chain 4 and double crochet in the same stitch, and 2 in the next 2, and across, leaving the remaining stitch. And then you'll keep working that row with the bobbles going across all the way down, and you'll see as I go down, my color changes. They get smaller. My blocks of color get smaller and smaller because you can see I'm increasing stitches. It's staying straight here, but it's widening up here. So you can see my stripes are getting smaller and smaller into my deep saturated blues, pastel country blue, aquas, going all the way down. And by the time you get to the end, I'll start by saying, so you started with this tiny point right here. right there. And by the end of the shawl, you'll have increased all the way from this end all the way down to the center of your V. So that is how your shawl is going to increase. It's worked in a triangular format. And then the final thing that you'll have to do on your shawl is crochet the bobble edging right on the edge of your shawl. And it is actually worked instead of every other row, like on this half, it's worked all in one row. As you can see here, when you lay it down, I'll lift it up. It has the bobbles, like so, and then you slip stitch 3, and you have that nice even bobbles all the way across, so it's symmetrical. And after that, you can fasten off, leaving your ends, and you're finished with your shawl. So it's a really simple pattern. And now, using my Caron latte cakes, I'm going to hop in and show you double crochet in the back loop, treble crochet, and the bobble stitch. Let's get started. Okay, so to demonstrate my first technique, I've already started up a little swatch of double crochet in the back loop. And double crochet in the back loop is the stitch that is used in the main body of your shawl. And it is a very simple stitch to work. It's the same as a double crochet, but working in a different part of your stitch. So to do that, you're going to yarn over your hook and turn your work so you see the top of your stitch, the 2 V's, and instead of going under, you're going to go in the one that's furthest away from you, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'll repeat that 2 more times. Yarn over, insert in the back loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and repeat. So that is the main body of your crochet shawl. And just a little tip, I found when just swatching up and working on my shawl with Caron latte cakes that the yarn slides over your hook like butter with ergonomic hooks, with wood hooks, with aluminum hooks, all the different hooks. Caron latte cakes, beautiful stitch definition, slides over your hook like butter. You can see it makes for very smooth crocheting. And you'll also notice, which is an added benefit, that there is no shedding from your Caron cakes. See, here's my swatch starting. You see none of the furs are coming out. That's a big bonus. So that is the double crochet section of your shawl. And that is the main section. And now I'm going to show you how to do the treble crochet and bobble. So the next technique you will need to know is the treble crochet. And if I pull up my finished shawl, I can show you that treble crochet is how you get these smooth edges along the top. You're working double and treble into your last stitch. So now I'm going to demonstrate that part of the shawl. So to make the treble crochet, since it's a slightly taller sister of the double crochet, you're going to wrap around twice. So you have 3 loops on your hook. Insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and we're going to yarn over and pull through 2, 3 times, as in treble. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over twice, insert into your next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Yarn over twice, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 2, and 2. Here it is. You can see it works up just as smoothly as a double crochet, and you'll only be using this for the edges and your incremental increase. And next, I'll be showing you how to do our final technique that you'll need to make this shawl really what it is. It's my favorite part, the bobbles. So to recap, I have my double crochet in the back loop body that gives us that really nice ridge texture, and up top I have my treble crochets to give it that neat, clean, and crisp edge. And now it's time to learn the technique that really makes this shawl unique and special and one of my favorites. It's the bobbles, and they're deceptively easy to make. So I'll demonstrate several for you. So to start off, when you're working up the side, you'll start by chaining 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to yarn over, go into the 4th chain from the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over both of 2 and keep that on your hook, so you have 2 loops, yarn over, insert into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on your hook, keep it there, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 4 loops on your hook, and you're going to repeat that until you have 6 loops on your hook. So now you can see if I slide them over, we have this group of 3 and the next group of 3, so we have 6 loops on our hook. And then your next step is yarn over and pull through all 6 loops, and then we're going to slip stitch in our next chain. As you can see, it gives us that little bobble. I'll do another demonstration. So with the other side of the edging, you're going to work 3 slip stitches next. 1, 2, 3, chain up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and do exactly what you did in the 4th chain from the hook, yarning over, inserting, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and keep that on your hook. And do the same for every bobble until you have 6 loops on your hook, which would be 5 repetitions of the half made double crochet. Then I'm going to yarn over, pull through all of mine, slip stitch into the next stitch. The slip stitch is important because it holds it off and it also really makes the bobble stand out. Then I'm just going to do 3 more slip stitches. And if I lay it down, you can see I have my 2 bobbles on the edge, then also my bobble on the other side, and then now I have a bobble on the top. And that's because when you're working your rows, you'll have bobbles across the end of your rows for this side of your shawl. And for the opposite part of your shawl, all these bobbles are worked in one row by slip stitching 3, bobble, slip stitch 3, bobble, and so on and so forth. And that is all you have to do to make your shawl. It's that simple. And remember, this is one of my favorite yarns, Caron latte cakes, only 1 ball and a 6.5 millimeter hook. That's how easy it is to make this fun and unique, luxurious shawl. So as a recap, the techniques you will need to know are the double crochet in the back loop, treble crochet, and the bobble stitch, and you only need 1 ball of Caron latte cakes. And once again, here is the back of your finished shawl. You can see how nicely the bobbles show up, and Caron latte cakes is a yarn that has a very beautiful and substantial drape. You can see how nice it is, and a really big bonus about Caron latte cakes is that there's actually no wool in this yarn, as you might think. It is actually 58 acrylic and 42% nylon, and the big bonus is you want a luxurious crochet or knit item that's comfy, but you don't have to hand wash it and go through all that work. So the best part, it's machine washable and dryable, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and crochet away, friends!